So the truth is finally revealed about Meliodas. So, these past couple chapters, we've all discussed how Meliodas is a different person, how this man is just almost pure evil. I mean, what he's been doing, especially with what he did to Fraudrin in last week's chapter. It was just straight up cruel and savage. We finally get to see what Meliodas thinks of what he's been doing. And in all honesty, it surprised me. It really surprised me with how well written and the execution of the final scene of this chapter was done. Because when Meliodas lets us know, like he's thinking in his mind, you see this like guilt slowly building up in his character. And at the end when he's talking to Elizabeth, he says that look, when you look into his eyes and you have those unspoken words, and I just didn't know what he was trying to say, and he's like, I'm scared shitless on my feelings, my thoughts I had at that moment. I felt so good killing Fraudrin, doing what I did. I felt so happy. And he's like, I'm scared of that. I'm scared of being someone like that. I'm scared of turning into what I used to be. That was so good. It was so good. That right there, that character development Meliodas got at that one moment blew me away. Because this isn't your typical, the hero is kind of going a little bit savage or a little bit evil. It's not like that. He has his own conflicting thoughts. He has his own worries. He's scared. He's scared of himself. He is legit scared of himself. And this isn't like, you know, your inner demon or anything like that, like you would see from other shonen. It's not like that. This is legit Meliodas' own personality, himself, that is acting like that. That's what he was in the past, and he's slowly having his emotions just ripped from him, and he's becoming a cold and dark person. And he realizes what he's becoming, and he can't do nothing about it, because every time he dies, he loses some of himself when he comes back. And, I mean, what's to stop eventually if he continuously dies to lose the emotion of love? I mean, imagine how you'll feel after that towards Elizabeth. If you think about all of this, it's sad when you see how Meliodas breaks down, he cries, because it's rare to see this man cry at all or show any emotions like that. And when he cries and he feels sad, you just know how much he's really worried about what he's been doing, because when he states, I was happy, I was giddy as fuck when I was killing Fraudrin, killing all of them, it made me happy. You know this man is scared of himself. He knows what he's probably capable of if this continues, and he's scared of it. And when you saw that, you know, Bond and Meliodas moment, it really just symbolized what the chapter meant. I mean, Meliodas realizes what he's becoming is something that wasn't his self. He's becoming evil. He's becoming like a true demon. And Bond and Meliodas, you can see where Bond actually sees this, and you see these rifts between these two characters starting to form, especially in this chapter, and it makes me sad. It really does. But that character development Meliodas got when he admitted that he was scared of himself, I was just amazed by that, because that's something you don't normally see at all from a shonen. A main male character or main female character admitting they're scared of what they can do, what they're capable of, or what the emotions they are feeling at that time. For instance, I felt so happy just killing these people. That makes you just like, damn, this man knows what he's doing. He realizes what he did wrong, but he's still happy about it, and it's sad. So, Nakaba-sensei, well done on the writing of this chapter. That alone was fucking fantastic. I did not think something like that would be done with Meliodas' character, because to be honest, Meliodas is a wonderful character. He is a wonderful character, but I prefer other characters of Taizai. I prefer like Escanor, Merlin, Bond, etc. And Meliodas, he's a good character. I like his design, I like his abilities and stuff. He has an interesting backstory, but I prefer some other characters. But this alone really moves him up in my spots of my favorite characters just for that, you know, character development I never thought he would get. So, getting off of that, let's talk about the other stuff of this chapter. One of the big highlights of the chapter was Jericho's brother dying. That, damn, wow, that was... Damn, I mean, we know Denzel died, we know Dog died, I mean, we know a couple of them died, but Jericho's brother dying like that, having a funeral service and burying him, I'm like, damn, it was so sad because none of us saw it coming, and this man, we knew he was in danger because of what, Grey Road was doing, but now seeing him dead, it's just so sad. And when Bon is right beside her, I get a smile of happiness to see how Bon's comforting her, but at the same time, they both have experienced loss like this. I mean, Bon, he's lost someone that was the love of his life, Elaine, and then you have it to where Jericho, she just lost her own brother, and they used to bicker and fight all the time, apparently, and she realizes, she wishes, they could have had a better relationship, and she already lost him. So it's very sad when you see that, and how Bon tries to comfort her. He puts his hand on her head, and, she sees it. That friendship, very beautiful, and seeing Bon and Jericho have that moment, it definitely kind of moves up that pairing in my eyes. Now, I know Taizai's not all about the pairings and stuff. I'm just saying, though, I do like Jericho and Bon's relationship, and to be honest, I kind of ship them over Elaine and Bon, and seeing that moment, hopefully that kind of moves up Jericho and Bon's relationship a little bit more to where they eventually can get together. Because if Bon finally gives up on Elaine, it adds in a lot of character development for Bon as well. I've talked about this many times in the past, and so I'd like to see that direction with this character, especially after the death of Jericho's brother. Now, other characters too. Let's talk about, what happened with Merlin and also Escanor. So Merlin and Escanor, they have a moment. Escanor gets to see his waifu. He gets to see, Merlin and all that. He's like, I knew you'd be fine. How you doing? I knew you were here because of that magic, that crazy magic. Escanor, you get to see he has all those feelings going on for Merlin. But Merlin, throughout the entire interaction, she seems a little bit spaced out, or someone that is not really caring too much about the conversation with Escanor, more caring about the situation with Meliodas, that's the big thing that really kind of scared me with this chapter, and what really makes that final execution of the chapter of Meliodas saying he's scared of himself even more impactful, because Merlin, as we've always seen, she's always seemed to be someone that has the answer. She always seems to be the one that knows what's kind of going on, or, always to smile, just understand certain situations. It always seems like Merlin's that type of character. And when Merlin's just staring down Meliodas throughout the entire chapter, it's like Merlin knows something, but at the same time you see that worry in Merlin's face, this uncertainty that's going on, because Merlin probably knows that Meliodas lost something very important when he revived. And it was a really important emotion. She can tell. She can definitely see that he lost something, and it's worrying her, because if he was to die again, it might be even worse than before. So you can see that worry building up inside of Merlin. I could see her trying to maybe work on something in the future to try to help him out, or maybe something else going on along the lines. But overall, though, you definitely saw that worry in Merlin's face when she saw Meliodas and how he was, reacting to the situation of Fraudrin, and afterwards with Bon and Meliodas' conversation. So, yeah. Oh, one little piece of dialogue, though, from Merlin, though, that really stood out, was that she was talking to Escanor and says, oh, you're here, the one that stands alone on top of the summit. Yeah, alone on top of the summit, like on top of the mountain. Escanor, he's the top of the mountain, he's the strongest, and it's like, I heard about your crazy feats of what you have done to the Ten Commandments, and, you had to where Escanor reveals, like, yeah, I know you were, turned to stone, but I had faith you'd be completely fine and all that because of who you are. So Escanor knew the entire time, he just had complete faith that Merlin would be fine, because it's Merlin. So, it kind of wraps up that. I mean, now that we know this, and Escanor knows about Merlin and how she was turned to stone, it kind of removes that situation of Escanor maybe being pissed off. So, he was completely fine with, Merlin being turned to stone. He knew she would be fine, so, damn, Escanor's faith in Merlin. That's pretty nice. I like that. Escanor's faith in, his wife, the person he has a crush on. So, regardless of that, moving on to other segments, let's talk about Hawk. So, Hawk, it's revealed he's fine. He's back. He actually is at the start of the chapter, and apparently there was some form of comedy there, and I just like, yo, what the fuck? Now, I could be wrong. I could be looking at the panels wrong, but I could have swore. Now, like I said, I could be wrong with this. I could be reading the panels wrong. But looking at the panels, it legit looked like Hawk took a shit, and that's what got rid of his demonic appearance. He took a shit, removed the demonic aura, the power from him, and that is why he turned down to regular Hawk. That's what it looked like to me, because you see like a little pile right next to him, and it looks like freaking shit. I'm not even joking. That's what it looks like. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. So, that comedy, like, what the fuck? Now, Hawk Mama, Mama Pig, she is fine. Now, we don't necessarily know how Mama Pig is fine, because we do know that Mama Pig took a big blow by Derriere into the side and crunched in Mama Pig pretty damn hard. I talked about it a couple chapters back. It was pretty fucking brutal. It was a big hit, and I was actually kind of worried, because, I mean, Mama Pig has shown to have, durability. A lot of durability, a lot of strength and all that. Hawk is showing it too. But, I mean, overall, though, that was a heavy punch to the side. It looked brutal as hell. And so seeing, you know, Mama Pig being fine, there's only two things you can kind of speculate about that situation. Either one, Elizabeth healed Mama Pig, and she was fine. That's what happened, because we do know Elizabeth has powers of the Goddess Clan to where she can heal people. That's a possibility. Most likely, Elizabeth healed Mama Pig, and everything was a-okay. Or number two, Mama Pig did something and kind of regenerated or something. We do know Hawk species is questionable. We don't know exactly a whole lot about Hawk species. We're still finding out information about Hawk and his Mama Pig, because, I mean, look, Hawk can talk. You know, where Hawk can transform into different things and gain the abilities of them. Mama Pig has tanked one of the 10 Commandments abilities and, like, ate it. We know that these pigs are not that weak. They're not something we should just brush aside to say they're just mascot characters. They definitely have a huge role to play in Taizai. So Mama Pig being fine, there's only two things you get from that. Either Mama Pig did some form of regenerative ability to where, you know, healed herself, or Elizabeth healed her, and that's what happened. So one or the other happened there, but a lot of questions I have around that scene. But overall, though, I say this chapter of Taizai pretty damn intense. Can't wait to see where Meliodas is going to go as a character, because there was a lot of setup for his development and a potential rift between Bon and Meliodas growing even further apart. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.